Space may not be the final frontier for the United States military defense. The Trump administration and many previous ones have long had interest in exploring the possibilities of weaponizing space. In addition, there has been continued development of space weapons here on Earth. To further discuss this topic, I'm joined by Bruce Gagnon, coordinator of the Global Network Against Weapons and Nuclear Power in Space. Bruce, thank you so much for being here today.
Good to be with you.
Now, a few days ago, Vice President Mike Pence, he said the United States is in a new space race with China and Russia. So in a recent op-ed, he wrote that both adversaries are aggressively developing and deploying capabilities, including anti-satellite weapons. So should the U.S. really be concerned about this?
Well, the U.S. is making a lot out of nothing. In fact, Russia and China for the last 20, 25 years have been going to the United Nations seeking a new treaty to ban all weapons in space. Let's close the door to the barn before the horse gets out. The U.S. and Israel have been blocking that treaty repeatedly through Republican and Democrat administrations. The weapons corporations view space as a new market. The nuclear industry views space as a new market. And they're trying to essentially create this new arms race that they say will be the largest industrial project in the history of the planet Earth.
Now, it's not just the U.S. military defense that's setting its eye on space. India recently launched a military electronic surveillance satellite. And your thoughts on other countries launching these types of satellites?
Well, I was in India on a speaking tour one time, and I saw that they had created a space command. And when I looked at their documents, they were exact replica of the United States Space Command that says we, the U.S., will control and dominate space and deny other countries access to space. So the U.S. is pushing India to get involved in military space because India has long had tensions with China, and the U.S. wants to turn India against China as the U.S. is encircling both Russia and China today.
All right, let's talk about the future. Could future wars soon be fought in space?
Some years ago, when I lived in Florida, I organized a protest at the Kennedy Space Center, and we had an Apollo astronaut, Edgar Mitchell, the sixth man to walk on the moon. He came and spoke, and he said, if we ever have a war in space, there'll only be one, because we'll blow up satellites, we'll create so much space debris that it'll be like a minefield all over around the Earth. And we won't be able to get a rocket off the planet Earth. He said we'll be entombed to the planet. And that means everything would shut down on planet Earth because cable TV, cell phones, banking, traffic signals, everything is hooked up to satellites today. And everything would stop if we had a war in space. So it's in no one's interest to do so.
At all.
Except, again, these weapons corporations.
Well, let's hope that that doesn't happen there. Now, what kind of space weaponry might we see scientists start to develop in the near future?
Today, the U.S. is working on lasers to fire from the Earth into space to knock out satellites. Lasers in space to knock out satellites and even hit targets on the ground. The military space plane that has shown it can stay in orbit, it's like a super drone, can stay in orbit for a whole year at a time, could be used for surveillance, capturing other satellites, or even coming down to Earth and dropping an attack on the Earth below as part of U.S. first strike attack strategy. There's even a program they call Rods from God, orbiting battle stations, firing tungsten steel rods to the Earth below, again as part of this U.S. first strike attack program that they're practicing all the time.
Wow, this is fascinating stuff. Well, let's hope in the near future that a space war does not break out. Thank you so much, Bruce Gagnon, for your insight.
Thank you.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.